A very angry and disheveled Donald Trump sneaking out of the White House last night. He's going on a trip to Asia. His first stop is Malaysia. He spoke with the press and started ranting and raving like a lunatic. He said, actually, we're going to do a lot more funding than just the $300 million for the ballroom. He goes, wait till you see the ark we're building. So I think it'll be more than 300 million. And we're building an ark, by the way. My next big project, the big ark during the government shutdown, and 20 million Americans are about to lose healthcare. Watch how bizarre and dangerous this is. Here, play this clip.
Well, it could even be more than that. Probably, possibly, assuming we can do that. You know, we're building the ark, and maybe we use it for the ark. Looks like we might. You know, we're going to be building the ark, and we've raised a lot of money for the ballroom, so maybe we'll put the ark is going to be incredible for Washington, D.C. So maybe we use it for the ark.
Then Donald Trump continues to lash out at Canada during this impromptu press conference and said, can you believe what they did with that commercial that Ontario's adding? He goes, they used AI of Ronald Reagan. It was a fake. Donald Trump said Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. He didn't hate tariffs. Canada used artificial intelligence. No, they didn't. They used Ronald Reagan's exact words from his 1987 speech. Ronald Reagan hated tariffs and was for free trade. Everyone go and watch the speech for yourself. Donald Trump is deranged. Here, play this clip.
I don't know. They cheated on a commercial. Ronald Reagan loved tariffs, and they said he didn't. And I guess it was AI or something. They cheated badly. Canada got caught cheating on a commercial. Can you believe it?
As we wrote on our MeidasTouch accounts, pretty wild that the Republican Party apparently now hates Ronald Reagan and everything he stood for and is actively trying to destroy his actual legacy and saying all of his statements were actually AI. Like, I just don't get, regardless of what political party you're from, where Ronald Reagan gave that speech, and you have like a deranged lunatic like Donald Trump say that's AI. That's not what actually Ronald Reagan said. And people follow what this maniac lunatic in the White House, Donald Trump, says. I just don't get it. Then Donald Trump continues to attack the president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, because Petro called Donald Trump out for killing innocent Colombian fishermen in the Caribbean. So the Treasury Department has now sanctioned Colombia as a drug dealing country, even though Petro's done a lot to stop the drugs getting into the United States and has been an ally of the United States before Donald Trump. And here Trump calls him a drug dealer yet again. Here, play this clip.
A drug leader. You want to see He's a drug dealer. The president of Colombia is a drug dealer.
Then Donald Trump, after attacking the president of Colombia, he then goes to attack Canada again. And he says, you know what? They should have not ran the ads on the World Series game. They ran those ads again. And Trump goes, they play dirty. I play even dirtier. Here, play this clip.
Ontario said he's going to pull that Reagan tariff ad from this Monday, but it's airing it during his first two World Series games. Well, you know, it's a crooked ad. I heard he's airing it. Canada, that's why I pulled everything. With Canada, they did a crooked ad. They knew it was Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. What they did is really dishonest. And I heard they were pulling the ad. I didn't know they were putting it on a little bit more. They could have pulled it tonight. They're going to pull it Monday. Well, that's dirty playing. But I can play dirtier than they can, you know? It's not on the Australian. Really, very dishonest.
What do you mean they play dirty? They're playing the words of Ronald Reagan. I'm trying to think of a comparison for Democrats. It would be like if you played a speech of FDR or JFK, or you played a speech of Obama, and then someone right now was like, how dare you play the words of Obama? That's AI. Obama didn't say that. Obama didn't say hope. Obama said hate. It's like, that's like the equivalent of what it is. And then after going on this deranged lunatic rant before going on Air Force One and going to Malaysia, where, by the way, he's about to, I think, give China everything they want in terms of taking over Taiwan, although we'll see what happens on the trip because they've got Trump cornered with what they've done to soybean farmers and our economy in general. They've outmaneuvered him, and they set it up perfectly to have Donald Trump basically say they could take Taiwan. In any event, Donald Trump posts the following. Just in, what do you like a reporter? Just in, everybody. Breaking news. What is it, Donald? What's the breaking news? Documents show conclusively that Christopher Wray, deranged Jack Smith, Merrick Garland, Lisa Monaco, and other crooked lowlifes from the failed Biden administration signed off on Operation Arctic Frost. They spied on senators and congressmen, women, and even taped their calls. They cheated and rigged the 2020 presidential election. These radical left lunatics should be prosecuted for their illegal and highly unethical behavior! Exclamation point, as we wrote on the MeidasTouch account. Wow. Very impressive for them to do all of this in 2020 while Trump was the president and they weren't in the government. Very normal post to be made by the president of the United States. And also, former special counsel Jack Smith has stated he wants to testify publicly before the House and the Senate on live TV in front of the world. And he wants to be able to speak freely about everything, about what went down in the grand jury room, about volume 2 of the special counsel's report, which the Republicans are blocking, involving Donald Trump stealing classified information and bringing it to Mar-a-Lago. So Donald, why are you all so afraid to allow Jack Smith to speak publicly? All other special counsels spoke publicly and testified, and Jack Smith says he wants to. By the way, everybody watching this and listening to this, all the Meidas Mighty, doesn't that say it all? That the Republicans, they want to talk trash about Jack Smith and spread all of the lies. But when Jack Smith says, okay, let's talk publicly, I'm free to do it, they go, no. We need to do it behind closed doors so we can lie about it and just say what you didn't say and pretend that's what happened. It's so ridiculous. By the way, while all of this is going on, the data that we got from Bureau of Labor Statistics, to the extent we even believe any data coming out of them, because Trump has fired the former commissioner because he didn't like the jobs report, and all of the other inflation data, job data is basically shut down because Trump's saying, oh, the government shutdown means we can't report data, right? If you don't test, then people don't get sick. That's what he said during COVID, right? He's doing the same thing with the economy right now. From the report that they made, they had to issue this report to make a standard of living adjustments for Social Security. So that's why they released this data. They claim inflation rose 3%. I believe it's more, but 3% is still going in the wrong direction. And 3% inflation is very high. It's the first time inflation's been at 3% or above since January. I mean, it's literally going up basically on a straight line at this point. And it's so fascinating, right? Because last year, as Carl Quintanilla says, 3% inflation, throw those bums out, as inflation was going down. Now, 3% inflation, the Trump regime and the media is like, we defeated inflation. Inflation is gone. It's more inflation now than where Biden had brought it, and Biden was bringing it down. And let's just not forget where the inflation was caused by. Donald Trump added $8 trillion of debt when he was in office. $8.5 trillion, more debt than anyone before him. By the way, our debt has now gone past $8 trillion. So Trump added $8 trillion of debt. It's now past $38 trillion for the first time. And the reason that, that the inflation was going up was because of that. We were recklessly printing money. During COVID, all of these supply chains broke, and then Biden had to fix it. Biden was the firefighter putting out the fire from the arsonist, then the arsonists were blaming the firefighters. 56% of people currently say the economy is heading in the wrong direction and that it's worse now than it was under Biden. The highest since November of 2023 as well. Also, the latest AP NORC poll that just was released shows that Donald Trump's approval among Hispanics, remember, Republicans were making inroads into the Latino community. 73% of Hispanics now disapprove of Donald Trump. His approval among Hispanics is only 27%, only a 27% approval. And Donald Trump's focused on building ballrooms and arcs and while he rips away people's healthcare, while he destroys people's lives, while things are less affordable, not more affordable right now, while people are struggling to live. 40 million people are set to lose food aid next week as the U.S. Department of Agriculture says it won't use emergency funds for food stamps. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program has been gutted by the Trump regime, and they're not doing anything at all to fix it. This is just another week in the Trump regime. Also, if you wanted to know where all of the remains of the East Wing of the White House are going, you can't make this stuff up. It's being buried under a golf course. The White House East Wing's construction rubble is now being used to create mounds on a golf course, the East Potomac Golf Course. You can't make this stuff up. And also, the Pentagon is confirming to CNN that it is going to funnel $130 million from an anonymous Trump friend to go to the United States military. You know, as Ben Welcher points out, active duty military payroll is more than $3 billion per week. So this idea of $130 million doesn't even move the needle at all. But as Ben Wetzler rightfully points out, Trump wants to keep creating the precedent that he doesn't need Congress to do funding, that they'll just go around Congress and have rich people pay for things rather than Article 1, which is Congress is the sole authority of making these payments. The power of the purse is in Congress. I'll just leave you with this right here. This is a scene from Lakeview, Chicago, an upper class area in Chicago where ICE is conducting raids and terrorizing this community as well. As Sean writes, it's beyond comprehension that scenes like this have become routine in Chicago. Masked soldiers carelessly lobbing chemical weapons that are banned from use during warfare on random residential streets. This is the third time the feds have tear-gassed residents in Chicago this week alone. Chemical warfare on the people of Chicago. Here, play this clip.
There we go. Good job, Nazi! 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 Good job, Nazi!
There you have it, folks. We'll keep you posted every step of the way, as always. Hit subscribe, help us get to 6 million subscribers, and thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.